Story 1. My neck has bone spurs that are causing a trapped nerve right now. Arthritis and issues from years of sports and what seems to be overuse from swimming, squash, surfing, ice hockey, roller hockey, and cycling are affecting my dominant arm. It is very painful and annoying, and I just want it to go away so I can get back to sports. I am 52 years old. It flares up badly a few times a year. As for my corneas, I have recurrent corneal erosion and corneal dystrophy, which are annoying and painful. However, the problems with my shoulder and neck are what I would most like to see wholly resolved. I can manage daily eye ointments. Story 2. I was treated for melanoma, and the pathology report came back clean. I hope melanoma never returns. Story 3. My lungs have been damaged by a decade of smoking cigarettes and currently vaping, as well as over a decade of smoking marijuana. I am officially 3 weeks clean today. Story 4. I would cure my Crohn's disease. Bad digestion is awful, and I am tired of spending so much time in bathroom stalls. Story 5. My left shoulder is affected by a bad dislocation, which causes me constant low-level pain. I used to be a left-side sleeper. I miss the days without pain. Story 6. My eyes. I have had very poor eyesight since elementary school. Just once, I would love to see every detail of my wife while we are intimate. I always take my glasses off, and with the dim candlelight in the room, I miss seeing a lot of her. I am 46 years old and have been married for 23 years. Story 7. This is really difficult because I am autistic and have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. But I also have type 1 diabetes. Would I heal my brain and then feel better without autism and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder while still facing my diabetes? Or would I heal my pancreas and live without diabetes but still have autism and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder? It's a tough question. Story 8. Teeth and gums. I had braces as a teenager and didn't floss properly. Since then, I have been brushing too hard. I wish I had done it the right way all along. Story 9. My heart almost had to go to the emergency room for signs of a heart attack last week, but I'm still trying to hold on until my cardiologist appointment next week. Other doctors have already told me I might not be able to last that long, and my heart could potentially fail before my appointment. But hey, I'm not dead yet. Story 10. Lungs and nervous system. I had a nervous stomach that required 2 doctors to diagnose. The concerns related to the lungs were evident. Story 11. I don't know the terms, but someone can help if they can. My nerves between my mouth and brain are not connecting properly, so I hope to heal that. Story 12. Either my eyes are the reason I can barely see anything far away, or my spine is causing issues due to scoliosis. It's probably my eyes because I don't want my vision to worsen as I age. Story 13. My brain is free from depression and anxiety. Best of all, there is no cyst causing dexterity issues and seizures. Story 14. Everything about life is difficult when your teeth are really bad. It's not my fault. There's no drug use or poor hygiene involved. My entire family has genetically poor teeth. I can't eat, I can't smile, I don't like talking to people or going out in public, and I cannot afford to fix them. I suppose the pain will stop when I'm gone. Sometimes I wish that would happen sooner. Story 15. Kidney. Being on immunosuppressants is not ideal, especially in a post-COVID world. It is significantly better than being on dialysis, but it would be wonderful not to worry that every breath I take could expose me to harmful germs. Additionally, wearing a mask everywhere can be challenging. Story 16. Thank you to my parents, who have caused me trauma in various ways. Physically, emotionally, and sexually. I am also living with epilepsy and battling heroin addiction. I would love a brain transplant. I would even accept the epilepsy if it meant alleviating my emotional pain. My borderline personality disorder is likely my biggest source of suffering. My own impulsivity and cycles of self-sabotage have nearly cost me my life multiple times, and I just want to feel safe in my own mind for once. Story 17. My legs have endured a lifetime on my feet as a soldier and athlete. I used to run marathons, but injuries from so many years of use have taken their toll. Story 18. I have had poor vision since birth, so I have worn glasses or contact lenses every day since. It would be nice not to. Story 19. I injured my back in my 30s, and it has never been the same since. The older I get, the more it bothers me. My orthopedic doctor said I will eventually need surgery, but he wants to wait because it is guaranteed to affect my mobility. Until then, I rely on painkillers whenever it flares up. Story 20. I ate poorly from my teens to my mid-30s, mainly because I never gained much weight. Now I am 41 and on blood pressure medication, so I have to carefully monitor everything I eat. Story 21. Currently, my lower back pain is the most disabling condition I have. Tomorrow, it will probably be something else. Story 22. Eyes would be really nice, but I am also a former alcoholic, so my liver would probably appreciate it more. Story 23. It's tempting to choose heart because I've had a difficult experience, or skin because I've had melanoma. But in reality, I would choose liver so my brother would still be here. Story 24. My immune system is likely affected. I have many allergies and overactive mast cells. If anyone is interested, they are welcome to take them. Story 25. My bunion is a concern. I don't want to undergo surgery, but it seems necessary. I developed this condition after a health scare 8 years ago when all my joints were in pain and getting out of bed became challenging. My right toe became swollen, and the bone protruded, never returning to its original state. There is no dengue. My platelets are fine. A comprehensive blood test revealed that I was significantly deficient in vitamin D. This issue began when I left my corporate job to work remotely in 2016. I hardly stepped outside, which led to my vitamin D deficiency. It's surprising to have this problem while living in the Philippines, a place with sunshine all year round. Unfortunately, my bedroom didn't receive much sunlight. Story 26. I would say my heart, but I know many people could relate. I'm going with my esophagus. Throat diseases are challenging. Story 27. Eyes. It's not that bad, and I can still see without them, but it would be nice to see clearly without glasses. Story 28. I would like to have my eyes and metabolism improved compared to a few years ago. Additionally, I want my brain to be less likely to create anxiety, and I need healing for my stomach as well. Is it possible to get a new body? Story 29. My nose has polyps that reappear when allergies irritate them, making it difficult for me to breathe. I should have them removed, but after caring for babies, toddlers, and kids for 14 years, I haven't had the time and cannot afford to be down for an extended period. When my youngest is a bit older, I will take care of myself. Story 30. The brain is the most powerful of all organs. The skin is a close second, as I have a couple of cysts and several scars. Story 31. Living with daily chronic pain in multiple areas of my back has fractured my life into pieces. Story 32. I have ankylosing spondylitis, so my spine vertebrae are slowly fusing together. I'm currently on a biologic drug that slows the process, and it's very painful. A new back would be amazing. Thank you. Story 33. I could go for my bruised heel, but it's not so bad, so I'd rather save it for my liver. Story 34. Spine. I have spondylolisthesis. Most of the time, it does not bother me much, but if I sit awkwardly, I pay for it when I stand up. I also cannot sit up in bed. I have to prop myself up a bit with my arms. My glutes and hamstrings are often tight or even knotted, which leads to more lower back pain. Story 35. Do teeth count? If so, teeth. If not, brain. I have bipolar type 2 and attention deficit/hyperactivity disorder, and I am very tired of it. Story 36. My brain. Depression and anxiety are tough. I am managing with medication and therapy, but I wish I didn't have to. Story 37. My shoulder is injured. I hurt it last fall from overtraining, and it has never healed properly. I have tried physical therapy, but it is tendinitis, so I just have to rest it and manage the pain. Story 38. My neck. Having a troublesome neck is not a big deal most days, but if I forget and turn my head for more than 30 seconds, I pay the price for the next 2 days. Story 39. My spine is crooked, I have a hump, and it causes a lot of pain. I believe I would be a few inches taller if it were straight. Story 40. Liver or pancreas. Liver due to long-term damage from metabolic syndrome and alcoholism, and pancreas for the same reason. Story 41. There is a strong connection between my knees and my lower back. Both are injured from my snowmobiling days. Story 42. Do both eyes count as one? If so, I would heal both of my eyes. If not, I would heal my right eye because I have a macular hole. Story 43. I have chronic heart failure, even after a double bypass, but honestly, psoriasis affects me more and disrupts my sleep schedule. Story 44. I am concerned about my kidney health due to the amount of salty and preservative-laden food I have consumed. If I do not succeed in life, I might consider selling one of my kidneys. Story 45. Spiritual Center for Inspiration, essentially a creative hemisphere cross-domain transfer of the brain. Story 46. My hips. My left hip was replaced when I was 18 and has been revised twice since then. My right hip has been resurfaced. Both are in poor condition. I use a walking stick to get around and I am in constant pain. I often wish I were dead. Story 47. I have a neurological disorder that causes my brain to send incorrect signals to my neck muscles, distorting my head. I am scheduled for brain surgery on May 13th, and I am apprehensive about it. Story 48. I need help with my attention deficit disorder, visual snow, tinnitus, atrophy caused by heavy drinking, and perhaps aphantasia, which I believe is a brain condition. I also hope that one day I could tell left from right without having to think hard. Additionally, I am concerned that I may be on the fast track to Alzheimer's disease. It affects my dad's side of the family every time. The lineage has produced children who have died from Alzheimer's disease or its complications, with the exception of early passings due to accidents or cancer. If you reach the age of 60, it seems inevitable. I am witnessing it slowly progress through my father and his siblings, one at a time. Story 49. My eyes, which used to have amazing vision, now need glasses to read, and it is getting worse quickly. Last summer, I was able to read in bright light, such as outside in direct sunlight and reading backlit text on a phone, but now it is becoming difficult to focus. Story 50. My left eye. I was born with a condition that deformed the optic nerve in my left eye, leaving me with almost no effective vision on that side. The only reason my depth perception isn't severely affected is that I can still detect light and movement. My eye doctor describes it as 20/200 vision. It would be interesting to experience what normal 20/20 vision is like. Story 51. My heart. I've struggled with a very fast heartbeat. I cannot do anything without being out of breath. It's horrible. Story 52. Teeth. I have great health insurance, but apparently, my teeth are just luxury bones. I pay about $10,000 to $15,000 a year for a few implants at a time, completely out of pocket, so that I'll still have teeth when I'm 60. All the crowns I've paid thousands for out of pocket in my mid-20s to 30s are nearing the end of their life. Story 53. My reproductive system. I have severe endometriosis that has caused numerous issues. I have lost my gallbladder, half of my body weight, and I now have Graves' disease. Story 54. My knees have been in poor condition since I was 16. I am now in my mid-50s. I would love to have my dancer's body back from before I was diagnosed with a career-ending injury. Story 55. My first thought was my glasses, but someone else mentioned the brain, and I've changed my answer to brain as well. You could eliminate all trauma, suppressed emotions or memories, and all unbeneficial experiences, which is exemplary. I read the other comments and wish healing and blessings upon everyone. My answer is not on their level. Story 56. My brain. It would be nice to function normally without the use of antidepressants. Also, my eyes. I need glasses, and it would be nice to have perfect eyesight. Story 57. Either my spine for my spinal cord injury or my brain for the chronic migraines. I would probably choose my spine, as it causes my entire body to hurt constantly and aggravates my migraines. Story 58. Can I share the power? Let's say my girlfriend and I both have the power. We would heal her knee. which was shattered 3 years ago by a reckless pickup driver that caused her to crash her bicycle, and cure her fibromyalgia that began after the accident. Story 59. My brain would be delightful, but my back and left foot are in worse condition. While it would be nice, I am glad I do not have to choose. Story 60. I lost my thyroid to cancer in 2020. It would be nice to know I don't need to take pills every day for the rest of my life. Story 61. My pituitary gland was affected by a concussion I suffered as a child, and I have to take a high dose of testosterone daily just to maintain normal levels. I am likely sterile from the treatment, but I would still choose to have teeth in a heartbeat. Story 62. Are we discussing being free of any issues whatsoever, or just healing the current chronic illness? Because it would be my skin. My skin is very sensitive. Everything causes a reaction, breakout, or rash. Let's get rid of all that. Story 63. My lungs have been affected by cough variant asthma my entire life, along with severe bronchitis last Thanksgiving. I cannot exercise the way I want to because of it. I would like to go jogging, but I cannot do so for long. Story 64. Kidney. The number of pills I take during my period is excessive. I try to balance it out by not taking anything, only when I am on my period. Story 65. I have 2 herniated discs that hurt almost all the time. It is either surgery or ongoing injections. I can't afford the surgery even with insurance. Story 66. My brain was affected because I had a stroke at birth, which left me with a disability. If I could heal that, then maybe I would regain full function in my arm and leg, and I would not have to deal with ableism ever again. Story 67. I had 4 significant concussions in high school, and I often wonder how much of a difference that could have made in my life. I know young brains can heal due to neuroplasticity, but I experienced a lot of anger, anxiety, migraines, and attention difficulties throughout my adulthood. Looking back, I wonder how much of that might have resulted from brain damage. Story 68. I have had constant back pain for 4 years since being pregnant with my son. Additionally, I would like to see well again. Story 69. My skin has been affected by acne since I was 12, which is almost 40 years. When I watch movies and television, I often forget to pay attention to the plot because I am amazed by how beautiful some people's skin is. I would love to know what it is like to be an adult with clear skin. Story 70. Bones. I have osteoporosis and osteoarthritis. Pain is a constant companion, and truthfully, I get fed up with it. Story 71. Brain. I have it so damaged that I think the doctor is going to end up with a bad brain when he finishes trying to fix mine. Story 72. Hard to decide, because I am in a generalized subhealth condition. Maybe heart or kidney. Actually, any organ is acceptable. Story 73. Pancreas, and then I would eat the biggest stack of waffles with maple syrup, followed by a large portion of pasta, and wash it all down with 2 liters of Dr. Pepper. Story 74. My DNA has resolved my bleeding disorder and other issues because it's all related to DNA. It is an amazing cure, not a result of current technology or medical practices. Yes, my DNA has transformed what was once a damaged situation. Story 75. My brain would remove my depression, anxiety, and nystagmus. That would allow me to live a fuller life and drive. I would love to drive. Story 76. I would heal my 3rd cycle reptilian seal tort with type 2 C-suction inseam beam on my left torso quadrant. He buzzes, there's a spaceship with hyperdrive. Don't you see the hat? Don't you get it? I am Mrs. Nesbit. Story 77. My gallbladder. I can just get surgery to remove it. My skin has issues as well, including acne scars and hyperpigmentation. Story 78. Do I receive an in-depth status of all my organs to make an informed decision? Or is it just the brain? The brain is a good start, though. I am not aware of any health problems. Story 79. Connective tissue. Mine has the structural integrity of an old rubber band left out in the sun. You don't realize how much your body relies on connective tissue until it starts crumbling. Story 80. I have chronic wrist conditions that I have dealt with for over 5 years because my abusive narcissistic mother refused to take me to a doctor for over a year. I was telling people, I can't move my wrist like this or it feels like I'm being stabbed. She insisted that there was nothing wrong after I had to wait for results, even though the doctor recognized an issue after just one examination. Could have been fixed in 6 weeks. On bad days, I struggle to lift even a piece of paper. Story 81, teeth. Hopefully, they stay healed afterward. They don't need to look perfect. I'm just tired of dental pain. Story 82. I have a permanent back injury that causes me constant pain. Standing, sitting in the wrong chair, or carrying weight on my shoulders for too long feels unbearable. This persistent pain has significantly affected my quality of life. I would consider losing an arm if it meant being free from back pain. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.